So you just got your Sony a6400, well, cool story, bro. Just kidding. Today we're going to talk about the top 3 lens recommendations that I have for you to get for your new Sony a6400. Yes, you see 2 right here. You're going to have to stick around for number 3. So maybe you're out there and you have the little kit lens, that 16 to 55 or something like that. Or maybe you got the one that's a little bit bigger, the 18 to 135, I believe, something like that. But a kit lens is a kit lens. And if that's all you can afford, guys, shoot with what you got. You can still get great stuff with the kit lenses, trust me. But if you're looking to upgrade or you're looking for something different, something new, well, this is the video for you. My first recommendation, the lens that I would highly recommend anyone out there trying to start vlogging or in general, just wanting to film themselves, go for something wide angle like the 10 to 18. This is made by Sony. It's roughly around $800 to $900. If you find it used, you can get it for roughly $400 to $500 used actually. This is an awesome lens, but before we keep going, I want to make sure people remember that this is an APS-C sensor camera. That means you're going to have that 1.5 times crop. Make sure you do your research on that when you're buying your lenses and choosing the focal lengths that you want. Back to this guy. This guy has a 62mm filter thread. That means that you'll need to make sure that you buy appropriate filters for this size, or make sure you buy filter adapter rings, which I highly recommend if you already have one of the larger filters, ND filters, UV filters, whatever. Get some step-up rings. They're awesome. I'll link them below. Basically, they're just rings that you can attach to your lens so that you can use your larger filters on this instead of buying brand new filters. The 10 to 18, of course, is a zoom lens. It doesn't have the biggest range, but the 10 to 18 is actually quite a big difference. This is all handheld right here at 10 millimeters, 18, 10, 18. Again, all handheld. Currently testing this guy out. This is the Sony a6400 internal microphone on a GorillaPod, vlogging with the 10 to 18 millimeter lens, which has OSS. So let's see how stable it is while I'm walking. Walking, talking. This is the auto ISO, a bunch of the settings, including white balance, all auto. Just walking through my house, wanting to see how it looks, what it sounds like about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet away from my body, holding it out. This is at 10 millimeters and 18 millimeters. What do you guys think of the image quality? Currently it's set at f4 and again, auto ISO. So how's it look? Switching hands. Want to know how stable it is? I'm kind of walking around right now. As you can see, here's my kitchen. I'm gonna face forward, and yes, the flip up screen is out here. Now I am behind the camera. I want to know what the audio sounds like. This is again the internal microphone. Now let's go into the pitch black bathroom, see how the auto ISO does. Guys, low light looks not bad. What do you guys think? This is in a pitch black bathroom right now. Let's step on out, see how it adjusts. Does pretty good. Back to 10 millimeters. Gosh, I love this thing. I am pretty excited about this camera, but I will say, I keep looking up at the flip screen. That's not good. The range is still pretty wide in general, but if you're vlogging yourself, it looks amazing. And if you want to punch in a little bit closer, I think this is a great lens. In general, if you can only get one lens as a new lens, go for this one. This guy's made up of partially metal, partially plastic, as most lenses are. Build quality is definitely pretty good, but what I love about this lens is that it is a nice, light lens. That's something that I miss so much about Sony cameras, because currently I'm shooting on the Canon 1DX Mark II, and all my Canon lenses are heavy and big as heck. This lens comes with a tulip lens hood. Yes, it is removable, and I actually typically like to shoot with my lenses without lens hoods on. Now, my all-time favorite thing about this lens is that it has OSS, optical steady shot, because the Sony a6400 does not have in-body image stabilization anymore like the a6500, but OSS is lens stabilization, so that when you pair it with this camera, you still have some form of stabilization. And from all the tests that I've seen out there, gosh, it really looks not that different. I can't personally do that test for you because I don't still have my a6500, but there are plenty of awesome videos. But if you don't want to go find those videos, just take my word for it. The OSS actually does a really good job. Obviously, it's not going to look like a gimbal, but if you do the ninja walk, you know all the proper stabilization techniques when doing handheld. I think you can get some really good footage with this, and I'll give you some samples. This is currently handheld, all on auto settings right now, and at 10 millimeters. Look how wide that is. Again, this is handheld footage. I'm just sitting down, vlogging, filming. This is an awesome, super light flip screen setup, and this is actually the internal microphone on the Sony a6400. How does it sound? So this is the 10 to 18 millimeter lens at f4. You'll notice how wide it is because it's at 10. Here we go all the way to 18. That's what 18 looks like. But again, shooting at f4. Let's take a walk. Let's see how it looks. This is all handheld, me walking as smooth as I can. What do you guys think? Also, if you didn't know, you've been listening to me on the internal microphone of the Sony a6400. How does it sound? Because if you want to know what it sounds like with an actual microphone on, and you want to know some recommendations to rig this up, I have a best accessories video coming out real soon for the Sony a6400, and I just caught myself looking up at the screen. That's going to take some getting used to, but I'm going to keep it in here so you guys can see and be warned about that. But I love having that flip screen. It's awesome. If you want more specs, definitely check out the description below. I made sure to link some stuff for you so you can check out these lenses that I'm recommending. On to lens recommendation number 2. This is my all-time favorite Sony lens ever made. This is a Sony Zeiss 55mm f1.8, buttery smooth, tiny, tiny little lens, nice and lightweight. Oh my gosh, I cannot say enough great things about this, except for the price, which is around $1,000, but I'll tell you now, I've been able to find these used in really, really good condition for around $700, and once I got lucky, for my personal one, I got it for $550. Shout out to that guy. This lens has a 49mm filter thread. It is tiny, but that is part of the reason why I love this lens. It is nice and lightweight. The metal construction is amazing. This is a 55mm lens, but don't forget about the 1.5 times crop on this sensor, so make sure you account for that. But f1.8, so creamy, so smooth, and look at those aperture rings in there. This is now the Zeiss 55, and it is being handheld. How's the footage look? I want to make sure you guys know that this one does not have stabilization, no OSS. But look how creamy that looks. Holy moly. Look at that bokeh. This is at f1.8, of course. This is me walking as carefully as I can with the 55. You'll notice that there's no OSS, so yeah, you're gonna get jitters. But what can you do? This is still an amazing, buttery lens. Check out the links in the description below. B&H, Amazon, a lot of places often give you little gifts of UV filters or polarizer filters that come with lenses like these. And if you go check out that link right now, I know the 10 to 18 comes with a free filter currently. The 55, it goes on and off, so make sure you keep checking those links. As for filters you go buy yourself, I always put a Zeiss UV filter on every single one of my lenses, even my Canon glass, because Zeiss coating and Zeiss glass is just amazing. And if I drop my lens, it's just like my phone. I put a screen protector on it for a reason. I'd rather the screen protector or filter break than my actual lens. Now I'm talking about filters for one because I want to make sure you protect your lenses, but number two, especially this lens, I always want to stay at f1.8, so if I'm gonna have it that wide open, I need an ND filter, and I always carry a variable ND filter. I recommend the ProMaster variable ND filters. I love these filters, and I've stuck by them for many years. Check them out. Size-wise, as you can see, these two lenses are actually roughly the same size. If I take off the hood on this one, you can see that they are literally about the same height. Again, one of my favorite things about Sony glass, look how tiny it is. And you can't just say because it's APS-C, this is an APS-C lens, and this is a full frame lens. Yeah, what now? I think it's worth noting too that none of these lenses are weather sealed, but that's not that big a deal to me. My third and final lens recommendation for the Sony a6400 is, if you can get these two, please get this combo, because you're getting from 10 millimeters all the way to 55, and if you crop in or punch in on the sensor, you can increase those focal lengths. But if you can only get one lens, and you think that the 10 to 18 is too wide for your one lens, then I highly recommend the Zeiss APS-C 16 to 70 millimeter f4 lens, and that is one of my favorite APS-C lenses as well, because that one just covers such a nice range, and it's a great walk around lens. Although I don't like it as much for vlogging because it feels pretty tight when you're shooting yourself, handheld, but for everything else, it's great. Now for that lens, you're just gonna have to take my recommendation for it because I don't currently still have that lens since I sold all my Sony gear, went to Canon, but because I'm loving the Sony a6400 currently and am thinking about keeping it as a B cam or at least an overhead rig cam for when I set that up, I'm thinking that I might have to pick that lens up again. So just like me, and go check it out. I've linked everything in the description below for you, everything we've talked about, even some of the things we didn't, so make sure you check out those links. I have lots and lots and lots of other videos I would love to shoot about the Sony a6400 and talk more about, but drop a comment below. Let me know what kind of video you want to see about the Sony a6400, and I'll make it happen. In 2018, I posted 15 videos throughout the year because it was my first year working full-time, and I was crazy busy. We are well on our way to 15. I've been posting weekly, so make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Join the notification gang. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Jared with Numpatech, and to the next one and beyond. If you didn't watch it yet and you want to find out what comes in the box of the Sony a6400, or you just love watching unboxing videos, I just unboxed this video. Go check it out.